I now request Mr. Dilip Cherian, a well-known image guru of India, to introduce the book and the author in a little more detail than what we have talked about. So, yes.
Thank you. This is a very easy task and I'm going to keep it short so that all of you enjoy the immense intellectual array that you will have from the stage. I'm going to quickly introduce the book and the author and then get out of the way. In PKD's case, the best introduction to Oberoi for a book launch. That requires enormous skills and strengths. When you have three Malayalis on the dais like this, you have the option of creating 2 political parties and 1 trade union. So they would appreciate it, but that is the potential of this room at this point in time. Besides running a very successful software and services company, PKD has a marketing company which actually earns him more revenues, and some of you who have an interest in cricket may have actually gone to his office during the times when he was responsible for electronic booking of e-tickets for cricket matches. So he's a man who wears many hats, some of them known, some of them not so known, and some of them that he would rather not have you know. For example, for those of you who are going to Qatar for the World Cup football, you may want to know, if you're a good friend of his, that he also happens to own one of the most happening nightclubs there. So he would not want you to know this, you'll get no discount, I'm not marketing it, but it's something that happened to slip out of his mouth when he was convincing me to come here and do this. So it was in some senses a quid pro quo that I get one factoid which does not exist in the biodata that he sent me. I'm refusing to read the biodata because I think that all of you who are going to read the book is a fascinating buy. I would recommend you to buy it if you are interested in the, shall I say, the now in the social media age, the widespread belief that everybody can be a brand. I'm also worried about it. Does everybody need to be a brand? That's a question which some of us must think about. My take on the book is that PKD has done a brilliant, no jargon approach to making yourself more relevant in whatever well or world that you choose to live. The big advantage that PKD has is that not having spent time trying to learn fancy phrases in some MBA school, here is a man who will not be easily tripped up by conventions or by what is expected. And if you catch on to the conversation that the two of them are trying to do at the moment, the branding exercise can begin anywhere. It doesn't matter where. Okay? The best point of time is where you are, and the best place to start is with the person next to you. So, branding is something intimate. He goes into more examples of religion than any single book on branding that I have encountered. Having been someone who creates and builds brands for the last 30 years, let me tell you that a lot of the advice that PKD is giving is valuable. It's not the kind of stuff that you should try at home on your own. You would be well advised to get some good, solid advice, and PKD has a marketing company which can possibly do elements of that for you. Don't even try coming to me, because I do only corporate work, unless it's political or extraordinarily important NGO stuff. My focus is different. But branding is something that you need guidance on. And having a book in your hand not only makes you more confident, but also possibly more competent at doing it. having introduced elements of the book, having given you a reason to buy it, and those of you who have not bought it, this is the time to go out one by one and get it while we are discussing the book. But I think that books like this have a bigger appeal because of the directions in which he makes you travel. He's gone from Subhash Bose, Netaji is one example, but the Netaji example struck me as important because not many people have understood the kind of branding that he did for what he was attempting. He's dealt with Christ, he's dealt with Buddha, he's dealt with Mahatma Gandhi, but the reason I'm signaling out Netaji and the small section on that is because there are many things that were done at that time which created a kind of imprint on Indians at a time when there were other gigantic brands competing in the same space. So brands must succeed when there is battle. And there was no greater battle, at least for the mind of India, than at that time. So having done all this, I think I will shut up and allow all of you to proceed and Priya to conduct proceedings hereafter. So thank you very much, Priya. I'm just going to give you enough time and babble on for 1 second when you come to the front. But this is a book that is coming from a publishing house which has experience of putting together business books. It's well produced, it's amply illustrated, and as I said, it's a must-have if you want to try and do it yourself at home. Thank you.